much needed rest. I want to thank everybody for sending my sister all that love. It was very thoughtful and it was very, very nice. Yesterday was a hard day for me. And it's actually been a hard day for me since me and my sister have been discussing this situation with her health. And it's took a toll. So now you guys know what the 12 trees really mean. I was dealing with a lot of stress on top of my brother's god sister getting hit by a DUI, a drunk driver, and preparing for her funeral. It took a toll. And that was another thing. And then me, of course, you guys know, I'm affiliated with the boys group homes, and just trying to make sure that they have some type of Christmas spirit, and making sure they got a tree for Christmas, and putting it up. It was a little late, but they got 2 trees in 2 different locations, and I actually attempt to do a 3rd location, and so I'm at peace that happened, and they were happy. So it's been rough, and yesterday it was hard. I watched my sister. She actually, held up really well. She was strong, and she had her chest out, head high, and she did that, and I gotta say she did that. And I heard her call me. She was like, when it got time for them to dress her in and take her in, she said, "Can my sister come with me?" And the lady was like, "Yeah, she could walk with you." And then when she got ready to go into that room that I showed everyone a picture of with the machine, she said, "Can I come in?" And the lady was like, "Oh, no, unless she going to get dressed in with you. She can't go in there." And I was like, wow. And then before the door shut, she called me out again. And she said, "Bye, Sony." And at that moment, I didn't see my sister. I didn't see her. I didn't see Moni no more. You guys, what I saw was that little girl I grew up with. That little girl that I used to protect. That little girl when we was the real Sony and Moni deal. And again, I tell you about reminiscing because, I'm not happy with any of the things that were told to me because, you compare situations with other people and her situation is totally different. And she's discussed and shared with you guys that she does have a tumor on her brain. And unfortunately, like my aunt, Audrey, that just had 3 removed, she doesn't have those benefits as my aunt had because this one, it cannot be removed at all. But what's good is that it can be managed as long as it does not grow. And we know stress has a lot of factors in your life. And that's where she needs to be at, in a non-stressful environment at all times right now. We're especially dealing with this. This is very, very serious. Very. And everybody knows that the impact in the past couple of years has took this toll on me, with my father. He passed away. It's all coming up these dates, January 5th. And then my son passed away right after my father, 6 months. And then here we go with my cousin Tracy, who I went to her house in Sugar Land in Texas. That's where I would go and get away with everything. I just, I had peace. I would go into her big, huge mansion. I had a room there, and she would leave me alone. And that's what I liked about her. She would leave me alone. There was no baby in me. It's just like I was there. She called my phone. "You need something to eat." I'll take walks there. And then, one day I got a call and it was like, "You need to sit down." And I'm like, "Sit down for what?" And I knew that sit down. I did it twice before. It's like, sit down. You're going to have to sit down. And I'm like, "Sit down for what? What?" And, I got on that phone and, it's, my world ended again right there, It's just like, what do you mean that she gone? Like, gone where? Out of town? you know, because Tracy go out of town a lot. It's like, no, she gone. She ain't coming back, you know. So that broke me. And then my good friend JC, you know, everybody know he always was my handyman. Now I got everybody doing shit for me. Like, I don't care who, you know, but, you know, JC, you know, I held his hand. And, you know, and I could feel JC hand in my hand. I could feel it still right now. And he said, son, I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to die. And he was dying. He had his eyes closed. And I was just looking and I was like, JC, I love you, JC. You've been so good. You've been my real big bruh. Ain't never really tried to get at me, disrespect me in no kind of way. You know, and I was like, you know, just know you going to heaven. And when you see Dada, pull up on him, you know, because you handled your business. You made people happy here. And, you know, unfortunately, you know, this is what it is, you know. You know, you going to be good, though. You going to be good, you know. And he was like, I know, but I don't want to die. And I ain't never held nobody's hand and told me they didn't want to die. So it just really hurt me, you know. And then he checked out. That next day he was gone, you know, and that bothered me, you know. And then after that, this is all back to back. I mean, I'm talking about these is my tears, you know. And then here go Cheese, you know. My son died in September. I buried him on the 26th. He was on my coattail within the next 30 days, you know, picking me up, trying to move me there in his place, a beautiful home. He brought me into his home, you know, and him and his daughter, it was heavy for them to bring me in there. I wasn't well, you guys. And I mean, this man, you know, it didn't even have to be on no sexual relationship. And that's what I loved about him, you know. It was just about he cared about me. I can go and I could be like, Milton, you know, do you think you can give me a hug? And he'd be like, man, come here. I could give you a hug, you know, and that's where I was at. Because I wasn't functioning on being intimate like that anymore. I was just not well, you know, and it ain't like I tried, but I couldn't get there, you know, and I could just remember reminisce, excuse me, but we would lay in the bed, and you know, I would be like, do you think you could just hold me? And Milton would hold me all night and just rub me, and so I went to sleep. He was very good to me, you know, and then when he, you know, they called me again and, you know, they was like, you got to get on the phone. And I'm like, get on the phone for what? You know, like I'm scared to get on the phone every time they tell me to get on the phone. And they was like, you won't believe what happened. And I was like, what happened? And they was like, Milton killed himself. And I was just outdone. Like, you know, like that was supposed to be my friend for the rest of my life. Like, you know, because I depended on him so bad, you know. And then I had to deal with that, you know. I'm still trying to figure it out with Milton. You know, I just can't stop thinking about him, you know, because he didn't deserve that. He was such a good man, you know, and he was good to me. And then, you know, he passed away. I got a chance to see all the pictures we took, and I got to see, like, God, I couldn't even see it because I was too sick. I seen a man that loved me. I seen a man that loved me, and I didn't even see it. I was too sick. The death of my son took so much out of me, you know, and I know had it not been for you guys, I just wouldn't have made it, you know. And then my sister called me one day with guess what? And she started telling me what was going on. And, you know, I wanted to be in denial. Of course I do. Of course I don't want to believe this is happening. Of course I don't. That I've been through too much. It's no way out. You know, and then my daughter told me, you did this with your cousin, Rashida. You sat there, Mom, you didn't want to believe it. And look what happened. And I couldn't even go to her funeral. I couldn't go there. You know, and so when I see my sister wave me and get in that machine, I was stuck on that door like glue. You know, because just the thought of anything happening to her, you know, it would hurt me. Deep inside, my dad wasn't there. I was looking for my father. He's the only one that ever loved me, you know. my dad, I don't know what it feels like to be loved by a mom. I never had one that loved me. So my dad wasn't there, and I knew he would have been there with me and my sister. He would have walked in with his little jean suit, his plaid shirt, his little work shoes. And my dad was square as all outdoors, and we was rough, and he didn't like that about us. He was so sweet. He was mean. He had a mean streak. Of course he did, but he loved us like unconditionally. He loved his daughters. But he wasn't there. And I had to stand there, and just try to be strong about it. And I start reminiscing about how young we were growing up. We was tight as thieves, and you know, I can remember we moved over to Oakland, and we went to junior high school. And when we came in, we pretty girls. That's no secret, pretty girls. And the girls didn't like us at this high school. We went to Roosevelt Junior High School. I started dating Lorenzo Lynch, that played for the Raiders. We went to prom together. I met his family, his sister Tonette. We became good friends, and they was just mad. And so after the bell would ring at school, they would always try to fight me and my sister, and so we was cool though. When it was about 4 or 5 of them, we was knocking them down because Dad was a boxer and he taught us how to protect ourselves. So they was like, woo, these light-skinned girls know how to throw them. And so once they found out that, we was getting on them, 4 and 5 at a time, just slaughtering them, me and Moni. They just couldn't handle them ass whoopings, so they got teamed up and they came real raw. I mean, shoot, one day the bell rang, it was about 15 of them out there. I said, listen, sis, we got to run. When that bell ring, I need you to run as fast as you can. And you hear me? You do not turn around and look. You keep going straight, because I was a track star, so that bell rang, and it was a big old park on 23rd Avenue. Man, we be running fast as we can, up like kicking dust up, running, trying to get away from all of them. It'd be a whole crowd of them. It looked like some hyenas coming for us. And I would always be mad because I would have to make sure my sister was right behind me. I couldn't run and leave her. So she always had a habit of looking back. And I would be telling her, Moni, don't look back. Looking back, slow you down. You got to keep it going, keep it straight. We got to run. And me and her, we be running our ass off trying to get away from the motherfucking girls, and shit. I don't want to call them out their names. I'm trying to not use too much profanity. My Meta account don't like it, but ooh, y'all. They used to be on us, Shit, we didn't know we was the new Red Bones. We didn't know what a red bone was till we moved over to Oakland. Shit, we didn't try to step on nobody's toes. But shoot, they wasn't feeling the Frisco girls. They had a problem with Frisco. I'ma just say that, and I'ma keep it real, real. So we had a time, and I started thinking about, Christmas. It's Christmas now. Y'all know I got these 12 trees up now. Y'all know my secret. I was stressed out. That's what the 12 trees is about. Every month that I gone and just dealing with life, like dealing with my life. Because in the 12 months of a whole year, all I heard was a lot of grief that came my way. For the past couple of years, I haven't been able to be happy at all. And it's been hard for me, right where I'm at now is where I spend a majority of my time when I'm not at work, and I'll just be thinking. I don't never stop thinking, it's just like, man, every time I turn around and try to win, I get set back, and it ain't nothing that's intentionally towards me. It's the people that I love that are getting hurt, and it's just bothering me. It's my front tier got knocked down back to back. My dad, my son, my best favorite cousin, my good friend JC, and then who loved on me. That was just a shocker, And I could see Moni, just waving, bye, Sony, And I said, bye, Moni. And she threw me a kiss, and I threw her one back. And I said, dang, I seen that little girl on Christmas. Me and Moni, we got some bikes. She got an orange one and I got a purple one. And we went over there to the schoolyard, over there in Bayview Hunters Point. We lived in a big old house with a, around the corner. It was a house that stretched around the corner, a beautiful house right there on Silver Avenue. And Pelton was at the end of the corner of junior high school, and Fremont was the elementary school we went to. So me and Moni, we went down there and got on our brand new shiny bikes. Sweet Al, he had bought them. He was dating our mom at the time. We had ended up moving with our mother for the first time. And I tell you, we got on those bikes. And I used to be, the one that always kept everything so lit. And Moni used to try to keep up with me. So I got on that bike and the gate was cracked to the school. And I liked it the way the gate was set up, because I said, oh, yeah, this going to be fun. Because I got to make that cut in that gate to get this bike through here. So I started rolling down the hill on my bike, going fast as hell, because I said, I'm going to make this cut. I need to go through this gate. It's cracked just a little bit, because if I make that cut in that gate right, I'm a bad MF. I was flying down there, woo, 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 on my bike, slid through the gate, linked all the way on my kneecaps, didn't one knee rub on the ground. And I came through there, slide through there like a pro and swirled that bike around and was like, come on now, you do it, Moni. So, y'all, Moni came flying down the hill. When she got to the gate, that nigga hit that gate. I'm hella wrong. She hit that gate. The whole bike and her body flew over the whole gate, the top of the gate, and came down. I was like looking like, God damn, did that really just happen? And she was like she was knocked out. Eagle speared. I went over there. I was like, oh shit, I'm in some trouble now. She had to get limped up out of there. She was tore up. She was like, man, so mad at me. I just was like, it's just kids though, that's what we do, just trying to keep up with me. I couldn't. It cost her ass. She got effed up, That was Moni, We be going places and we buy shit, you share your shit with your sisters and brothers. And she be Sony, can I have a lick of your ice cream? I be like, yeah, you can have a lick, but I don't want to see your tongue. Because see, I was a trip. You already know that. I'm like, I don't care, but do not stick your tongue out like that, because if you stick your tongue out of my food, you can't have none. I swear, Moni would stick her tongue out. I said, nah. You can't lick my ice cream. She be mad as hell, hella mad at me. But, that's us as kids, So then, she Moni went to school bragging, talking about all these new clothes she had, all this designer shit she had. And then she came crying to me, talking about they was messing with me at school, saying I was a liar, Sony. I told them I had all these clothes that I don't got. I said, well, why you do that? She said, I don't know. I told them all of this stuff I had and I don't even got it. They teasing me at school. I said, that's okay, because tomorrow you going to have it. I caught the bus down to the Emporium. I went in there, I took everything that was on racks and brought it back to her. That's just who I was. I'm just keep it real. I used to look out for my little sister. I did. And my brother. We had nobody. And I had a friend talk to me about it yesterday, and she just was like, you did everything. And I did, I really, really did, we didn't have money. I was just like, you know what? Hey, we in this house. I know how to fill out these welfare forms. Check, 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 check. I was taught early. Lick that stamp and put it in there by the 5th. That's who I was. I'm keeping it solid, And when Friday came to Saturday, I started high school. I said, I know what to do. I'm going to start giving some parties. Ring my bell, bell, bell. Y'all remember that song when we used to have them cowboy hats? and we moved over to Lakeview, man, I tell you, we had some parties up in there as kids. I hooked it up, and my mom came home early one day, and busted me because the neighbors was telling me. And so she was like, well, how much money you making? And so I told her. She was like, woo, I'm making a rent every month, right? And so, that didn't work out because she started saying I had to charge her. You know, you got to pay me to use my garage. I said, oh, wow. So I started clipping some money and, because she was almost hogging all my money up. I was like, man, then she got her little dude at the door. So I was coming up real short then. And then that fool ran off with all the money. You know how this shit go. But to make a long story, you could read through the lines of what I'm saying. I'm not trying to bash nobody or nothing. I'm just speaking on life, how it was. Shoot, I found myself, 5 years old, giving up on, I came from good stock, so where it went wrong, I don't know, because I sure was rocking, in a house that I wasn't familiar with, and sharing a room with a lady that chain smoked named Kay, and I was 5 years old. So how you do that in your family? 5 years old, pretty girl. I was a pretty girl, so you know what I'm saying? I come from that world. I come from that world, I come from that world being touched and all kind of shit, And I didn't live a long, long, hard life. You know what I'm saying? But I lived it and I knew how to love people that I loved. I knew who to love and I knew who to get at love too. And that's what I said. You got to always know your who from your do, And, when I finally came home, because I was gone for a few years. Y'all know what I'm talking about? For a while. I still remember Moni in court. I could remember Moni in court and they saying my sentence charge carried 30 years. And I heard her, ah! You would have thought somebody died. You would have thought somebody died. That was Sony and Moni, But, I came home and she was like, Sony, we always been smart. She was like, I'm going to roll you in college. That's what Moni said. I'm going to roll you in college. You're going to get a degree. I said, I am. And man, I was on my way. I really was. And it was hard though. But I did what I needed to do and I handled my business. She stayed on me and she was my little sister, And we didn't funked it. We didn't fell out. We didn't got back together, fell out, funked again, got back together, fell out, funked again. And I'm say this to say this and that. No matter how bad it is, at the end of the day, that's still my damn sister. It don't even matter. That's what's fucked up about it. We can't cut these motherfuckers off. I ain't fucking with her no more. When something happened, you is. Because you're going to stand up and do the right thing, And that's just life. And I'm sad, We got a couple days for some results and we good. We good. We good. If we can make it, long as they say it's stable. Long as you guys keep praying for us and they say it's stable, we good. We can make it. But if they say it grew, that's something we don't want to hear. That's something we don't want to talk about. And that's something I can't handle. So I do need everybody to keep praying for us. Holding on. We got a few days and, she doing well. She is. She's strong, She's strong. She's not feeling good right now. No, she's not. But my sister, I think God know. I think I get a pass this time from him. I do. I think I get a pass from him, So I just want to say thank you. I got so many calls today. I got so many tremendous calls today. It was just crazy, y'all. But and Texas, this is just crazy. I can't even get back to everybody. I ain't gonna even lie, and I don't want people mad at me. But I go with that first tier because, like I said, I'm on yo who you know your who from your do. And my sister said that yesterday. Know your who from your do. And she was like, Sony, where you get that from? And I always got a story. So when I moved over to Vallejo, I worked at the Hope Center as a clinical counselor when I was there, and I had a resident, well, a client. They are all different names. I had a client there, and they were stopping a welfare to work program, and so we was getting all the women's because they was trying to kick everybody off of welfare and make them go to work. And so I had a girl that came in, and I was doing a counseling session with her, and she told me, she said, "Yeah, Sony." She said, "It went all bad for me when I started messing with drugs, you know." And she said, "You don't know, I come from a good family. I come from good stock." And I said, "Is that right, Kathy?" She was from Chicago. And she said, "Yeah." She said, and my father passed away. He was a reverend. She said, "You know, it's always them church girls." I said, "Girl, you tell me. I know." And she said, and I went in there, and she said to see my father to say goodbye. And she said it hurt me. And that's why I'm here in this program right now. I want to get it right. I do. I want to get it right, you know? And she said, my dad looked at me and I held his hand. And she said, my daddy told me, "You know what, Kathy, I love you. I love you, you know? But you helpless, you hopeless, and you homeless. You let me down. And I hope before it's all over, you know your who from your do." And she said he checked out. It was his last breath. And I never forgot that story. So I live by that. That's why I always say that. Know your who from your do. Because if I didn't know that, I'd have had so many low down, low life MFs that did me wrong. And it never happened because I never let them get close. I don't play that game, keep your enemies close. And I'm going to tell you something. Don't you ever believe that. Whoever tell you that, you watch them. I don't care if they tell you your grandma told you that story. That ain't the story to live by. You don't keep an enemy around you at all. For no reasons. And I said that. Not one. When you find an enemy on your field, they got to go. And quick. You don't play that game at all. Period. So, me and my sister talked. Y'all seen her Christmas pictures. And I'm going to end it here. Some going to get this message and some don't. She looked so pretty. I know y'all seen her pictures in her little Christmas dress. And she said, yes, only they had a sweater party. And they had to pick the right person, the best person to win. And she said, so they clapped and hollered names, and then they took the people down, as you know, deleted them. And then it was just her and one of the head managers or bosses there. And so they screamed for her real, real loud, but they screamed louder for the other woman. And she had her little Santa Claus dress on, lashes, her little boots, tights. The lady just had on her little slacks and a sweater. So we already know what time that was, okay? So when she won, she walked over to my sister and she said, guess what? You know you really won. And my sister said, no, you won. They picked you. And she said, but I know you won. And I'm going to give you the gift card. And my sister said, I can't take the gift card. And so she walked away. And I shared that to say to you that woman there was a woman that we need around here in a lot of different places. That lady there, and I believe her name was Tina, she was a hell of a woman to do that. And in this world, it don't happen like that. And that's why she's who she is. And that's why they scream for her. Because her heart is good. And that's what happened in life. When you play fair, you will always win. And I'm going to end this story right there.